Outlaw Sports is brought to you by Molson Canadian, made from Canada, and Rocky Mountain Barbecue, Alberta barbecue cuisine at its best.
Hi everybody, welcome to the show. Mike Lonsborough along with Grant Pollock. Grant, a lot of things happened this weekend that we will touch down on. First of all, I watched the Junos, didn't realize there is as good of talent as there is musically across Canada, and I didn't realize how much Katie Lang looks like Wayne Newton. Secondly, we have the Flames. What the hell are you guys doing winning? You're supposed to tank it. Tank it, you guys. Get everyone left-handed sticks. Do something, Bob. Don't let them win. You morons, you got the wrong game plan here. You had the game plan from the first part of the year.
Can you go back to the Junos? What talent has surprised you? Give me some names. Is Trooper still up for things?
No, but they seem to be playing every Grey Cup there is, and in 2020 or wherever the Olympics will be, that's where Trooper will be.
No, what's happening?
I just watched all these bands.
Okay.
And I'm not a radio guy, Grant, but I was watching all the great talent, and I was quite impressed with it. Michael Bublé, quite impressed with the way he handled himself. It was great. It was fun to watch.
In Regina,
nonetheless.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and it was cold outside, so they had red carpet inside. I did see that.
Yeah.
Do you know who could have done a great Michael Bublé in his time? Was Mike Toth.
Yeah.
I bet he could croon and do, with those suits he wore. Wouldn't it be fun to see?
He does an impersonation of Vince Gill singing while doing Chris Cuthbert. Funny.
Who does?
Toth.
Toth. Oh.
It was amazing. He's doing Chris Cuthbert doing a game, but he's singing it like a Vince Gill song. And, it was outstanding. So the Flames, and then Kipper, and then of course what we had with the Boston Marathon. So let's go through all this stuff quickly. Starting with the Flames. What Jesus Christ.
Can anybody understand what's going on?
No.
I think not. The only way I can explain it, you take away what? Iginla, Bouwmeester, Glenn Cross, Tongay, Kiprusoff some nights too. There's no way they're going to win, especially against teams that are fighting to make the playoffs or to push the playoffs, because Anaheim's in, but not Minnesota, not Detroit. I don't know how you explain it except this.
The Ducks?
The Ducks? I don't know how you explain it except this, Mike. You've got a lot of American League type hockey players on the Flames active roster right now. They're trying to show that they belong here next year or showcase themselves for some other team. So they're trying to play their very, very, very best they can. And if they catch a team off guard, not playing their best, and they get half-decent goaltending, I guess that's what it is.
Or how about this, Grant? Those guys will buy into a defensive system a lot more than some of those superstars would be. They'd be willing to listen to
big part of it.
Big coach like that.
I sat down with Bob Hartley at a luncheon a week or so ago, and he didn't say that kind of thing, but he did say there's a little different mentality or attitude, atmosphere around the team. And I think that's what it is. When I watched the Minnesota game last week, I wasn't lying, I was actually falling asleep. It wasn't that exciting of a game, but that 1-2-2 forecheck, it's not really aggressive, but they're playing a Bob Hartley style that he wants them to play to have some success, to showcase those average players, maybe that they can belong in the NHL, but it's not an exciting style.
No, but Grant, gee whiz, you're kind of hoping to get in the top 3 to get one of those kids.
Impact player, to get an impact draft pick, a top 3, a Duran or a McKinnon or a Barkov, or Seth Jones. I don't think it's going to happen right now. They're starting of the week, they're in 9th place, or no, I guess they're moving on up. They could be in 9th place.
They're like the Jeffersons, moving on up.
Moving on up.
To the east side.
They moved past the Oilers. Again. Everybody was saying a couple of weeks ago, the Oilers, man, that's what we all want to be like. Be like the Oilers. They're exciting. They're young. Well, the Flames, once again, the Oilers are going to miss the playoffs for 7 years in a row. Flames 4. But it's too bad. But if you're a young guy, Mike, and you're trying to get a big contract with the Flames or somewhere next year, you don't care about a draft pick. You don't care if they're going to get top 3 or 4. You want to play as hard as you can to earn a spot in the NHL.
What's that young defenseman's name, Canardi?
Yeah, Mark Canardi.
Yeah, when you know he
was an all-star in the American Hockey League.
Goal and an assist, comes over in the Bouwmeester deal. Looks pretty impressive. Not a great big guy, but not a shy guy.
5'9", about 200 pounds.
Yeah, a bowling ball.
And he said he roughed up Zach Parise in the game, and he said, and he heard some boos. He said, "I'm used to that. When I get more comfortable in this league, you're going to hear a lot of boos."
Yeah.
But don't the Flames need that kind of player? A sandpaper?
Especially on defense.
Like the Boston Bruins have a few guys that get under the skin of opponents, right? Matt Cook, for instance, Pittsburgh Penguins, those kinds of players. I know we're talking about a forward, a defenseman, but Canardi, if he can stick next year in the NHL with the Flames, that's what they need. That pisses teams off.
Quickly, let's go to one more subject. That is in Boston, and what an emotional week it was, and what a hellish week it was for the United States. And we touched down on it briefly. I mean, you being a runner, and you know, my sister being there, but you see firsthand in the emotion in the games and the looks on people's faces, the fear, then the relief. The Bruins had a jersey off your back day where they give it to firemen and all the first responders. It was a very touching and a very moving experience, Grant, but one that you didn't expect to hit the NHL, did you?
No, not at all. And it really rocked Boston. I guess when a city is in lockdown, to be there just must have been an eerie experience, but I applaud the Bruins and the Boston Red Sox for what they did before games. Very, very moving experiences, done with class, done with respect, done with emotion. So I saw the opening ceremonies for or the pregame ceremonies for the Red Sox. They had Neil Diamond there singing Sweet Caroline, and they brought some of the volunteers in from the Boston Marathon, everybody. And the Bruins did a good job too. And that must have been tough for the Bruins too, because the one game was postponed. Well, 2 games are postponed or moved anyways. One's being moved to later in April, and one was moved the next day. So it was highly emotional, no question.
Good to see them get through it.